Alright, so the verdict that everyone has been waiting for. So police constable Noel Maitland was found guilty of death of his girlfriend, 24-year-old social media influencer and entrepreneur Donalee Donalson. So after waiting 4 years for this verdict, it has finally been stated that he is found guilty. Alright, so the jury deliberated for over 3 hours before returning his verdict in the Home Circuit Court this afternoon. So Maitland was charged with murder and preventing the lawful burial of corpse. The police wept as he was led away from court back in custody. He is to be sentenced on March the 13th. So Donalee Donalson has been missing since July 2022 and her body was never been recovered. So during this trial, the prosecution relied heavily on circumstantial evidence, arguing that if formed an unbroken chain pointed to Maitland as the only person who could have caused Donalee Donalson's death. So Crown Counsel highlighted blood evidence recovered from Maitland apartment at Chelsea Manor in St. Andrew, the removal and disposal of furniture, and the phone records tracking Maitland's movement and communication after Donalee Donalson's disappearance. So prosecutors also pointed to what they describe as Maitland's calculated behavior in days following Donalson's disappearance, including an attempt to misleading investigators and members of his family. The defense, however, maintained that the case was based on speculation and urged the jury to reject what it describes as unreliable and incomplete evidence. So Maitland, in an unsworn statement from the dock, denied killing Donalson, telling the court that he loved her and had no reason to harm her. You get me? I said, alright, so it has finally been released, Maitland is guilty, and we all know this for a long while, based on the evidence and based on the witnesses that come forward, and basically told the Home Circuit what happened, and it has finally been released that he is guilty. A verdict that all of us has been waiting for quite a while now, so that justice can be served, and it is finally being served, So the next step of this is to see whether or not he will be getting more than one life sentence coming March the 13th for the sentencing, And bro, as I said before, every evidence lead back to Maitland. Every single evidence lead back to Maitland. So this was something outstanding. This was something that literally could run from. This was something that we have been waiting for quite a while now. And justice has finally been served with he getting guilty verdict for the murder of Donalee Donalson.
Just in, from Roby and Williams in the Supreme Court, the Noel Maitland murder trial is at a pivotal place now. The 7-member jury has been handed the case by Supreme Court Judge Leighton Pusey, who completed his summation this morning and handed them the case, advising them that they are just to be concerned with the evidence, saying that they are the sole judges of fact and must determine whether the prosecution has proven its case beyond a reasonable doubt. That's the latest from the Supreme Court.
We see what we can solve, because apparently them can't solve the case because this man has been on trial for almost multiple years, almost 3 to 4 years, and all now them can't come to a verdict. All now this man cannot be sentenced.
Puzzle don't fit, you must acquit. That line echoed through the courtroom as Noel Maitland's attorney, Christopher Townsend, delivered his closing address to the jury. Mr. Townsend challenged the prosecution's case, which relied heavily on circumstantial evidence likened by the Crown to a jigsaw puzzle with no missing pieces. During his nearly 2-hour submission, he urged the jury, which consists of 4 men, to rely on their own life experiences when weighing the evidence. Mr. Townsend said he had seen situations where a man maintained relationships with 2 women who both knew about each other. According to him, that's a real thing in the streets. Mr. Townsend reminded...
Bro, what we basically are trying to say, what does 2 women knowing about them each other have to do with this case? Is it that he might use Donalee and Noel's Maitland baby mother knowing about them each other? That doesn't make sense. I think the man put it on a point of view when I say, yo, everybody was okay with each other. That's what basically I say. But if you look on it from a different angle, if you look on it, say, alright, Donallee have another boyfriend and Noel was her boyfriend. You get me I say? And in this case now, have you ever seen where it's a case where a woman there with two men and them know about them each other?
Company
Especially if two of them think they're the only person that she's with. Come on, bro. Think about it from that point of view. Have you ever seen something like that? You can have certain cases when someone and two girls have side man and the side man never know about the husband. But at the end of the day, the husband don't know about him. That's a different case scenario.
That the burden of proof rests entirely with the Crown and must meet the standard of being sure of guilt. He stressed that even if they believed Mr. Maitland knew about the crime but did not commit it, their verdict must be not guilty. He emphasized that the burden never shifted to Mr. Maitland and that his client had nothing to prove. Mr. Townsend told jurors that once they had any doubt, they were obligated to return a not guilty verdict. He also cautioned them against allowing emotion to influence their decision, referencing the emotional testimony of Donalee's mother. Jurors, he said, must assess the demeanor of each witness and consider whether they were truthful or had something to hide. Mr. Townsend told jurors that the prosecution is asking them to infer death without a body. He compared the case to chickens disappearing from a locked coop after a mongoose was found with feathers on its mouth. Mr. Townsend argued that the prosecution's own evidence shows Donalee was not in the cage. One of Donalee's friends testified that when she called her minutes after 1 p.m. on July 12, she heard traffic, adding that a cyber forensic expert explained that Miss Donalson's cell phone pinged on a cell tower that was 400 meters away from the apartment, pointing out that Miss Donalson is an influencer and they don't leave their phones. Stressing that Donalee was outside of the apartment, Mr. Townsend urged the jury not to allow anyone to take them for a fool. Mr. Townsend said Donalee's mother spoke positively of his client's character and noted that Mr. Maitland had checked on her while she was ill overseas. He added that in a surprise to the prosecution, Mr. Maitland's father testified that Donalee's mother told him during a taxi ride that she did not believe his son killed her daughter, though she felt he knew something. Mr. Townsend argued that if the Crown...
Alright, so this son is like there's no evidence about this. You get me? I say it's like Noel Maitland and the team basically are try pinpoint Donalee at another location when she was missing. You get me? I say, but the man always say what's in the dark has to come to light because everything basically a point back to Maitland. You get me? I say, and if that was the case where she wasn't at his place when she went missing, why am I do so much? Why am I delete footage of him entering in his house? Why am I wash the settee? Why them find blood in him place? Why all of that?
If him is not him,
The moment you go missing, why all of that? They get me and say so it's hard to believe what the man say is true in terms of what him lawyer bring up. It's hard to believe, bro, because no evidence to point towards that. No evidence to point towards that. That come like the man we're going to the church and kill him stepmother or so, him stepmother and him wallet drop out of him pocket. That come like the same scenario, bro. That come like karma, bro. You get me I say? And everything leads back to Noel Maitland killing Donalee. You get me? And doesn't mean the facts they can't find nobody doesn't mean that he didn't commit the crime. And the thing we mean over sure, bro, is if this was laid in, as in if there was evidence if there was at least involvement showing say yo his baby mother was involved in it, he would have take the stand and say what she do it. May I tell you, bro? But the fact that everything is pointing to this brother, him get fuck. You get me? I say, yeah, man, everything I point to him. You can't look and say what a person or the person, because everything I point to him.
Tell me where the body is.
Is testified against him because he disapproved of the witness's lifestyle. He also said he would play Buju Banton's Boom Bye Bye whenever the witness and his friends became noisy, but the DPP told jurors this was a deliberate tactic. She asked how many jurors were Jamaican and how many Jamaicans held strong views about persons with alternative lifestyles, suggesting Mr. Maitland was trying to trigger bias rather than address the evidence. Ms. Thompson reminded jurors that it was not the witness who sought out Mr. Maitland. Instead, she said Mr. Maitland contacted the witness requesting access to his surveillance footage and asked that it be deleted. The prosecution pointed out that Mr. Maitland called the witnesses before 11 a.m. and waited for about 15 minutes while the man was in a meeting, despite claiming he disapproved of his lifestyle. The court was told that the witness stopped what he was doing and reviewed the footage with him. The witness testified that Mr. Maitland appeared worried when he saw his vehicle entering the complex and began pressuring him to delete the video. The DPP questioned why anyone would want footage of themselves entering their own yard erased. She dismissed claims that the witness acted out of malice, telling jurors to reject that argument. Ms. Thompson said Mr. Maitland's strategy throughout the trial has been one of denial and deflection, including attempts to shift suspicion onto his child's mother. However, she told the jury police found no evidence to charge her. In her closing, the DPP urged jurors to consider several unanswered questions, including the location of a missing couch, Mr. Maitland's iPhone, and why a SIM card found in the banger phone seized from him displayed a welcome message the day before his arrest. She also questioned why Mr. Maitland failed to identify himself as a police officer and why he omitted key details about blood evidence in his unsworn statement. Ms. Thompson said there were no answers to those questions.
So me wonder, if this man is so innocent, why must go through all of this? If this man is so innocent, why must go through all of this? Why? And apparently, anybody say this man is innocent, then basically not follow the case. You get me, I say? Because, bro, these are so many key points in this murder trial, bro, that this man cannot walk free. This man at least get 2 life sentence, bro. You get me, I say? There's so many key factors, bro. Delete of footage. Blood stain found in the house.
If him is not him,
You get me? I said,
the
the man said the blood stain was caused by having sex. I some menstruation problem. I some menstrual problem. Yo, bro, this brother is crazy, dog. Crazy. Every woman have menstrual. So you're telling me say at least in everybody else a spot of blood lie around somewhere. Yo, this case is crazy, bro.
Company in the UAE.
You get me? I say, I'm think there's no way that he can escape this. No matter how much links him have, no matter how much money him have, them not bigger than the law, bro. Yeah, man, them not bigger than the law, man. Youth. And it catch up to them, you know. Yeah, man, that catch up to them. You get me? I say, because all arrows are pointing to this man, bro. You get me? I say, him can't escape this.